So you need people that are passionate, and then started to change the systems and the incentives at the same time. But you need those passionate people that shows results and so, oh, this is working, this is making it better for that person, so I want to do the same. So you're going to need those champions at some point, and those umbrellas of, hey, you can do this, it's okay.
So what advice would you have for, senior leaders, executives, organizational leaders who really want their organization to be innovative for whatever reason? They want to keep up with a fast changing world, competitive dynamics, it's cool, whatever. What advice would you give them to help them set a tone and a culture and a structure of innovation in an environment that, kind of almost in its natural state is the opposite?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I see a lot of these CEOs having the talk, but then nothing happens,
Yeah.
and they get very frustrated too, because they send the message, but it's not taken. Um, and I always look at big organizations. At least that's my experience. I would be curious about yours. Is you definitely need this kind of leaders to say that. And for instance, that was my experience at the World Bank. When I did my stint in the internal innovation team. So we did a lot of the grassroots and a lot of the work, but you didn't have the leadership. And at the end, they cut the unit basically, and they say, okay, no more need of innovation team. After that, 2 years later, the president office took it from there, and it worked because you had that, right? So you definitely need that. That's a must. But you also need the grassroots. It has to come from below, from the grand groups, the ground troops. And the reason for that is because if the project managers at the end that assign the little budget are not doing this and not believing in this, it's not benefiting them for their incentives, for their systems, they will not do. They will not create something tangible. So you will not have like this impact.
People are going to follow their incentive and organizational structures.
Yeah. But at the end, it has to be something for them and a passion. So you need people that are passionate, and then started to change the systems and the incentives at the same time. But you need those passionate people that shows results and so, oh, this is working, this is making it better for that person, so I want to do the same. So you're going to need those champions at some point, and those umbrellas of, hey, you can do this, it's okay. So in the middle, you need these middle managers. But at the end, if you have the ground troops and you have the leadership, it starts being like what I call the sandwich effect. And you can push through the systems, through creating some of these champions in the middle and things like that. And for me, the technique is what I call, then you go from the sandwich to the Panini effect. You start pressing from both sides. And then it works, because then you start having success. Then you have people that really are incentivized for doing this kind of innovating projects, for achieving results in a different way or changing things. And people pay attention, and they want to grow in their organization.
They do. And I'm putting my own words on what you just said, but see if it makes sense. But this does make sense to me, right? Like, you have to, like, as an executive leader, you do actually have to walk the walk. You can't just say innovation. You have to set the tone. You have to set the culture. And in fact, one of the, I don't know about you, one of the conversations I have, I work with a lot of senior but non-executive managers, right? Yeah. So like, very, very senior managers, but they don't quite have that C-suite level authority. And they ask me questions like, I get it, growth mindset, learning from failure, risk tolerance matters. How do I set a cultural tone? And my answer is, unfortunately, to the best of my knowledge and experience, you can't.
Yeah.
Right? That has to come from the top.
Yeah.
But you made a really interesting point. Like, let's say you do that. Let's say you have the executive team giving the permission, the air cover, walking the walk, et cetera. Structuring the incentives you're talking about, structuring it so that grassroots people want to propose ideas, take risks, deploy budget, whatever it is. I think that's something maybe that is far too frequently overlooked.
It is, and it's key, because at the end, big organizations are systems and incentives.
Yeah.
And if you don't change that, you will not have systematic change. And you may have some people very passionate and doing like good examples, but it will not percolate, right? So So systems and incentives are going to be critical at the end. You still need those people, an example. You need the believers, those passionate people that would drive things, so they become role models, and they saw the way to go. But it has to come with a reward, as that the rest associate as a reward in the organization, like they increase an incentive, or they have a promotion, or they upgrade in the system, or they are recognized by the, I don't know, the CEO or whoever is the person there. If that doesn't happen, at the long term, people will say like, yeah, this is cool, but yeah, he's playing or she's playing, and I don't want to do that. I'm very comfortable here. Uh, and why would I put extra effort in doing something that
Of
for me is
course.
uncomfortable, I don't know about, and it's risky?
Look, Victor, we've covered so much ground here, but I think it's such an interesting kind of like exclamation point to put on this. You said, like, what are organizations but systems and incentives, right? And to say, how do you set the tone from the top and not forget to put the incentives at the bottom if you as an organizational leader actually want your organization to be more innovative? And 9 times out of 10, I mean, leaders are very smart. When they say it, they really do mean it. They really do want that. Sometimes they don't, but making it happen is hard.